DC Comics has introduced a wide array of characters over the years, each with distinct powers and personalities. However, not all of them have gained the same level of popularity as titans like Batman, Superman, and The Flash. There are some lesser-known characters who possess incredibly unique abilities, setting them apart from the mainstream heroes. One such character is Cameron Kim, better known as City Boy. His powers are among the most unique in the DC universe, with limitless potential. Today, we'll dive into the story of City Boy, exploring his fascinating abilities and what makes him stand out in the world of DC Comics. If you love comics, manga, and epic crossovers, you'll definitely want to check out our sponsor for today's video, Sekai. Sekai is a revolutionary storytelling app that lets you select characters from a vast library, write a prompt, and generate unique stories complete with immersive voice acting that brings your ideas to life. With a diverse range of characters and settings, from Marvel heroes to Dragon Ball warriors, you can create incredible scenarios, like Batman meeting Light Yagami from Death Note, or Spider-Man teaming up with Naruto. Plus, you can craft your own original character and make them a part of the story. Share your stories with a community and explore the amazing creations of others. Download the app using the link below. And a huge thanks to Sekai for sponsoring this video. Cameron Kim, known as City Boy, is a young superhero from Metropolis who possesses one of the most unique powers in the DC universe. He can communicate with cities as if they were sentient beings. His abilities allow him to listen to the stories and memories of urban environments, letting him tap into the past of objects, streets, and buildings. More than just a historian of the city, Cameron can physically manipulate urban landscapes, shaping steel, concrete, and entire infrastructures to his will. He can also phase through objects, see through them, and even locate lost or hidden items by sensing their history within the city. Perhaps one of his most intriguing abilities is the creation of a city's avatar in the form of a small animal. Each city has its own representation. Gotham is symbolized by a rat, Metropolis by a dragon, and Bloodhaven by a massive bat. Cameron's journey began with a troubled childhood. Abandoned by his mother at a young age, he was raised by his grandfather, struggling with feelings of neglect and isolation. His powers emerged when he stumbled into a secret meeting involving mobsters, politicians, and engineers. They were conducting an experiment using a machine meant to merge the consciousness of the city with a select group of people, granting them vast knowledge and control over it. The experiment, however, went disastrously wrong, killing everyone involved except Cameron. The city seemed to choose him as its vessel, granting him these unique abilities. Surviving the explosion, Cameron quickly realized he could understand everything around him. He used his powers to phase through the floor in an attempt to escape, but he was caught by the guards. Chained to a chair, Cameron became the subject of brutal experiments as they tried to harness the mysterious power he had absorbed. They pushed him to the brink, testing his limits, until his powers fully unleashed in a destructive wave. The room was torn apart by the sudden surge of energy as Cameron manipulated the urban environment around him, finally breaking free from his captors and escaping into the city. Cameron used his abilities to scrape by as a small-time thief, focusing on objects that had been lost or abandoned by others. But he never used his power for evil or self-gain, as he would often help the homeless people to get by. One day, while walking around the city, Cameron was approached by a homeless man named Fujimoto, who asked for some cash. When Cameron said he didn't have any, Fujimoto mentioned he'd noticed Cameron had a talent for finding things around the city. As they talked, security arrived and forced Fujimoto to leave, but he tagged along with Cameron instead. They went to a nearby park where Cameron found some money on the ground and gave it to Fujimoto, who was thrilled at the prospect of having dinner that night. As they went to buy food, a crime boss named Jung appeared and took some of Fujimoto's money. Jung warned Cameron that he ran this part of town and always took a cut when people made money. Though Cameron was angry, he held back and went home. He continued selling random items he found, but when he returned, he found Jung waiting for him. The boss revealed that he had captured Fujimoto and beaten him for information about Cameron. When Cameron tried to pay him off, Jung refused, revealing that he wanted Cameron to work for him instead. After Jung's thugs attacked him and Fujimoto, Cameron finally snapped, unleashing his full powers. He easily overpowered the thugs and confronted Jung, who called him a monster. Cameron retorted that Jung had no right to call anyone a monster after what he'd done to the city. Suddenly, Intergang, a group serving Darkseid that has been closely observing the situation, arrived and took advantage of the chaos to capture Cameron. They brought him to Dr. Mokarison, the scientist responsible for his powers, who revealed his true plan: to use Cameron's abilities to expand cities globally, causing them to crash into each other in service to Darkseid's agenda of destruction. When Mokarison harmed Cameron during his experiment, Cameron unleashed his powers again, summoning Metropolis's avatar, a massive dragon, causing widespread destruction. The chaos was so intense that Superman himself had to intervene. As the dragon wreaked havoc across Metropolis, Superman attempted to reason with it, but the creature didn't understand him. Desperate to stop the destruction, Superman urged Cameron to calm the dragon. They soon realized the dragon's rage stemmed from Cameron's own inner turmoil and self-loathing, as he saw himself as a monster. To resolve this, Cameron needed to confront his own past. The dragon carried Cameron around the city, showing him scenes that reminded him of his trauma, being abandoned by his mother and growing up alone. As Cameron faced these painful memories, the dragon began to calm down, shrinking to a smaller size. Afterward, Superman had a heart-to-heart with Cameron, offering advice on heroism, responsibility, and self-acceptance. He told Cameron that he believed in his potential, and together they helped rebuild the damage done to Metropolis. Feeling the need for closure, Cameron decided to leave Metropolis temporarily. He entrusted the dragon to Fujimoto and set off for Bloodhaven, where his mother was rumored to have moved. In Bloodhaven, Cameron used his powers to see memories of his mother, who had built a new family. However, he also encountered a haunting memory of the final crisis event, where thousands had died, overwhelming him emotionally. As he struggled with these memories, he was suddenly approached by Nightwing. Startled, Cameron panicked and created a small avatar of Bloodhaven. Realizing it was Nightwing, he quickly calmed down. Nightwing reassured Cameron, offering to help find his mother, but asked for his assistance first. He needed to locate someone named Jean Nguyen. When they eventually found her, they were ambushed by Intergang. Angered once again, Cameron prepared to fight but noticed the destruction he was causing. At that moment, Dr. Mokarison appeared, mocking Cameron's lack of control and taunting him with Darkseid's looming plans. Realizing the gravity of his powers, Cameron calmed himself and let Intergang retreat, but their words about inevitable destruction lingered. Overwhelmed and fearful of his abilities, Cameron decided to retreat to nature, spending time in the forest to regain his peace. In the forest, Cameron discovered that even ant colonies were within his control, as they functioned like miniature cities. He could even create an avatar for them. Suddenly, he was approached by Swamp Thing, the protector of nature. Swamp Thing explained that while Cameron controls cities, he controls nature, and noted that Cameron's powers were unstable due to his inner turmoil. His search for his mother was causing deep emotional distress, leading his powers to spiral out of control and the cities to expand relentlessly whenever he used them. Swamp Thing offered to help locate his mother, and Cameron revealed she was last seen in Bloodhaven. Using memories carried by the forest, Swamp Thing uncovered that Cameron's mother had fled to the woods during an attack on the city, but then revealed a painful truth. She had passed away, showing Cameron her grave. Heartbroken, Cameron questioned whether his mother ever truly loved him. His sorrow turned into anger, causing the cities around him to expand once again. At that moment, Dr. Mokarison appeared, taunting Cameron. He suggested that the only way to preserve his mother's memory was to turn the world into a city, as cities never forget. Cameron's emotional turmoil manifested a construct of his mother made of steel and concrete, with Mokarison urging him to continue. Realizing the danger, Cameron fought to control his emotions. He accepted that his mother was gone, and as he did, the construct of her crumbled. Though it pained him, he remained calm. Swamp Thing restrained Intergang, but they were soon taken by parademons, sent by Darkseid to punish them for their failure. Swamp Thing then reassured Cameron, explaining that despite the scars of destruction, the forest, like life, would continue to grow and heal. Batman, Superman, and Nightwing arrived, helping Cameron cope with his loss. With a new outlook on life, Cameron returned to the city, this time using his powers to help others with a renewed sense of purpose and self-control.